Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We're here in London Stansted, and we are doing our F1 Sports Series cargo operations. Microsoft Flight Simulator multiplayer mode. So it's going to be a little bit busy around here with other aircraft. In fact, if we turn on the tags, we can see who's in and around in the area at the moment. So we're going to be flying the 747-800 freighter from here on a short hop over to Amsterdam today. So let's hop on board and we can get her set up and ready to go. Alright, so here we are on board the aircraft and it's time to get her up and running. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is come up, turn on the battery, set the standby power to auto, and turn on external power. Hydraulic demand pumps are coming off. Then we're going to start the IRSs, all three of them, aligning. Dropping down, we're going to make sure our parking brake is set. Landing gear lever is down and confirmed. Flap position lever is up and showing retracted. Fuel control switches are all off. Anti-ice is off. Oxygen is checked. Emergency exit lights are checked. Altimeters. Grabbing the weather currently here at Amsterdam. It's kind of flopping all over the place. But you can see winds are 150 at 11. No clouds detected. It's hot, 32 degrees, and 1014. So let's get that in. There we go. 1014 is set on both sides, and we are good there. So with the winds today, even though it says that they're not using 22 at the moment, we're going to use 22 because the winds have come around and they are favoring that direction at the moment. So we're going to stick with runway 22. Alright, let's head down to the FMS and start getting that set up. There we go. So first thing we're going to do is come in and we're going to do our fuel and payload. So fuel for today's flight is going to be 18.1 tons. And we will fuel. Aircraft is now fueled. And we can go back and do payload. For payload, it wants us with a takeoff weight of 308.7 kilograms. So we are going to just reset our view. We're going to watch our gross weight here, and we're going to play with our boarding information here. So first of all, we're going to set all of our passengers in. The problem we have here is that we are in a passenger aircraft with a freighter skin, so we gotta fudge the numbers to get the weight up. Alright, boarding should be instant. So that's 271. So cargo, if I do 30, that'll be 301. So if I do 30, $37.6. Ooh, that is so close. I'm about 4. So if we do bring this down to 360. 3088, that is pretty close. Alright, so let's pop back to the menu. We'll come into the FMC and we'll start getting our flight plan and everything done. So our engine and aircraft information is good. Our database is good. Position initialization. We'll grab the GPS, plug it in. There we go, and we can come over to our route. We're going to request our route. There she is. We'll load it in. And it says there's an error in an airway. Let's do this manually then. So let's clear this. EGSS to EHAM is good. And we'll come over to page 2. And we're going to CLN VOR, and then we're going via the P44 airway to Ratlow, and then we're going via the M197 to Redfa, which is the entry point into the arrival. And we can activate and execute. Alright, so that's that there. So if we come over to our departure, so we're going to be departing off of runway 22 on the Klein to Echo, or the Claxton to Echo. And if we look here, we can see our climb out. We can put that there. That is good. And then we come down to our departure. And then to arrival, it is going to be the ILS runway 18 right. We are coming in on the Redfa 1 Alpha, and we're transitioning at Sogol. And we'll execute that. And get with our legs, everything's looking good. There's Redfa, discontinuity. Let me pull up the approach. So that will go there. I'll execute that. And it takes us to Sogol. And we'll bring that up there. Execute that. And that looks good. Come over to our plan. And bring up our legs. Step through, we're going to take off, make a left-hand turn, arc around, heading out towards the coast at the Clacton VOR, out over the Atlantic and North Sea, and then we're going to come up and do this jog around for the ILS landing in Amsterdam, which is all good. Alright, so back down to the FMS, and we can do our performance. So reserve fuel for today's flight, and we'll pull up the briefing, is 4.7. Cruise altitude today, we're only going up to flight level 210, cost index of 90. And thrust limits were good, that's all fine. Takeoff, it's going to be a flat 10. And our V speeds are there, 123, 136, and 157. Excellent. Now, one thing I do want to check. Let's go menu, salty. Oh, that says on. Okay, we're good there. And we're going to want our takeoff page. There we go. Alright, so we are ready to start. We'll get the hydraulic demand pumps on. Fuel is loaded. If we come down here, we can see the 18.1, which is correct. And we'll come up and get the APU running. Alright, so let's get all the fuel pumps on. Close that cap, and APU is starting. So he's setting down to 0.4, but the winds are slightly favoring 2.2, so that's what we're going to use. We will be climbing directly up to 21,000 feet. We'll set that up now. APU is now up and running. And 21,000 feet is set. Alright, beacons. Let's pop over here. Nav lights are on, beacons are set to both. Doors are all closed. And seatbelt signs are on. So quick look on the outside of the aircraft. We are good and clear. We'll get the speed brakes down. I moved them so we could program everything in, but we are good to go. So let's call for our...
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
It's always too small for our aircraft. I'm going to come up here. We're going to make sure the APU bleeds are on, which they are. APU generators are now on, and external power is disconnected. So we're going to push back, tail left, nose right, and that will get us facing the correct way here.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I'll just take another look. A couple aircraft over here, and we had one land. And we've got this other guy about to head out. Again, we are on multiplayer, so it will be a little bit convoluted.
Completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So we're just about ready to push back. Just hooking up the tug. As he does his fancy tug dance.
Locking gear.
It's fairly busy here. I do got to get that other traffic program in and go on to provide some models. Just makes it look that much nicer. So we want to go nose to the right, tail to the left.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right. So starting 3 and 4. There's enough bleed air to start 2 engines at one time on this aircraft. Watching the N1 rotation come up. And there we go. Adding fuel. Looking good. As soon as we hear the starter cut out, we can, there we go, we can start engines 1 and 2. Can't believe it's showing the weather in London Stansted as 32 degrees. It's only going up to about 21 or 22 here in central Canada, so or central eastern Ontario. So a lot cooler. Oh, and we'll get the fuel.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Alright, so again we're listening for the starter cutout. And there's starter cutout.
Cockpit to ground.
They can unhook.
Good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, so back up top we go. And our after start checklist. So engine bleeds for all 4 engines will come on. APU bleed can now come off. Packs 1 and 2 and 3 are all on. Recall status is checked. Reference speeds are in. We have 123 and 200. Flaps.
Unlocking gear.
Set to 10. And trim.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Good enough. It's in the green. 7.5. We'll stick with that. Flight control check. We'll come over to our flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, neutral. Auto brakes are set to RTO. Window heats on. And we're just waiting for the signal. Alright, thumbs up. We're good to go. So we'll bring our page here over to the fuel page. And brakes released. Engine's coming up. Away we go. She's a beast, so she's going to take a bit to get going. Let's bring the engines up to about 40%. Help with that push. And we're going to taxi off of the apron here. We're going to make a right turn, and we're going to head up to Romeo, which will take us to the entry point for runway 22. So we're almost caught up. We're a couple weeks behind where the season is now, but we're getting there. I believe our next flight is down into Italy, and that will be next Sunday. But we got to get over to Amsterdam first. Go into Bravo here. And then do the quick little sort of S turn to get ourselves around. Into the first entry point there for runway 22. Alright, coming around the corner. do our vital data. So we are 123,200 and FM is set 200, 222 and 21,000 feet. Packs are on, crew is notified, flight director is coming on, auto throttle is armed, lights are all coming on, and the FCP is good. So a little bit off the center line marker there for the taxi. There we go. So we are all set. Setting takeoff power. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's live 80 knots. V1 and rotate. And there's positive rate, gear up. I did see someone's comment somewhere about this aircraft being overpowered. It seems to be, especially when we got a big load like that on board. Alright, LNAV, VNAV, command mode. Autopilot's engaged. So landing gear is up. Flaps will start coming up in a minute. Packs are all on. Exterior lights, we can turn off some of these. There we go. It knows it's coming down for acceleration, so we'll bring the flaps to 5. And flaps 1. And flaps up. So we do have some height restrictions here. We're going to see how the aircraft handles it. Well, the first one is a 4,000, I believe. It is, and then we hold this out for a little while. We'll see how she does. Just let the aircraft do its thing as we head out. It's not giving any information. As you can see, top of descent's only about 95 miles away, so it's going to be a fairly short flight as we head out. But it's a beautiful, if not hot, day here over southern England. There's the airport. We're leaving. Again, this flight is taking us to Amsterdam, part of our Formula One support series, which we run on multiplayer on Sundays. So there we are climbing. We shouldn't be climbing, but it is, so that's fine. Let's pop down, clear that. Yeah, they don't really have a phase of flight page, so that's okay. So we're above transition, so we can switch over to standard pressure, and that is set. And 10,000 feet coming up, we can do the lights. There's 10,000. So landing lights are off. Turn off lights are off. Taxi lights off. The only things on are your beacon, nav, and strobes. Alright, so there's the coast coming up. We're now accelerating to our higher altitude climb speed. And as mentioned, it is a short hop across the southern part of the North Sea, I guess. Not quite to the English Channel, but getting into the entryway there. We're going to hop over to the Netherlands and then head down. Did it not... Jeez. For some reason it's been doing that. I set it up in the thing to feed in the proper information for the stream, and then it doesn't do it. I don't know what's going on. Let's get that corrected. See, it took the title. Interesting. Thanks for pointing that out, Dark. Appreciate it. Alright, let's let me just fix this. That's annoying when that happens. Alright, so it's got the video description correct, or the title correct. Let me just fix the description. There we go. Should self-correct in a second. Oh, there she goes. Oh, thanks again. It's another thing I gotta keep an eye on as we do these flights and make sure that they are loading in properly. So it's almost out to the Claxton VOR. Then we're gonna start heading in a northeasterly direction up towards Amsterdam and get ready for our descent, which you can see we're already under 80 miles from top of descent. So there's our turn. See the Thames down here, London. And that's where we're headed. Through 18,000 feet now. We're almost at cruise. So we're actually doing the night transition ILS for the runway, which instead of overflying the airport and then doing a big loop out and around, this actually prevents us from overflying the downtown area and takes us on a wider loop out, which is what we're going to do. There's 1,000 to go. And there we are, 21,000 feet. And we are in the cruise. So while we do that, let's take a look at our approach into the Netherlands for today. So we're coming into Redfa, which we can see down here. We're going to fly up to Salute and then over to Sugal. Now, on the normal ILS, you would fly in from Sugal to the SPL, the Schiphol VOR. You then make this like 330-degree left turn out and then fly up these waypoints around to come in to land, and there's our runway 18 right. But we're doing the night transition here, and what that will allow us to do is flying in from Schiphol or Sugal. We're going to fly to Nexum, and then we're going to fly up here to Neersee and then come in this way and around. So it prevents us overflying the downtown area of Amsterdam and keeps us out over the water. So that is the plan for our arrival. Once down, we'll be landing on runway 18 right. So we're going to land. We're going to come off probably down here at Victor 1, down Romeo, or sorry, Victor 1 all the way down to Victor. We're going to follow Victor down to probably across at Whiskey 13, then Delta, which is a southbound. We're going to take Delta all the way down to Bravo to Quebec, and then we're going to turn in here at Romeo, and we're going to be taxiing in and parking down here, which is the cargo area in Amsterdam. So we're going to have a little bit of a taxi once we get there. Oh, we should be all good. So we're on our way to Redfa. And we have our descent point here. So descending down, the platform altitude for the ILS is 2,000 feet. So we're going to be descending down to 2,000 feet. You can come down now and make sure everything is set and good to go. Get that on, although it doesn't really matter. We're in multiplayer. Alright, so down to the RadNav page, and we can check. So the ILS is going to be 110.1. There it is there, ILS 18 right. That is in. We can put it in the Schiphol VOR of 108.4. We'll put that over here on number 2. Can use that over there. We got no beacons, so we're not too worried about that. I will put in another one just as reference. Put that over there on VOR1. That is going to be up near our entry point into the ILS. Both of those are in, and both of those are showing. One has a DME, the other one does not at the moment. Not sure if it actually does or if it's just not picking it up yet. We will find out. Minimums for the landing, it's going to be a Cat 1, will be 187 feet on the barrel. So we'll round that up to 190. And the current weather in Amsterdam. I'll throw that in. Winds are currently 190 at 6 knots. Ceiling and visibility are okay, 31 degrees. QNH of 1016. And no significant changes forecast. As per usual, I'll use vertical speed to play with the descent rate. We're on the salty version. I do like it better. The other version, the Asobo version, does not have SimBrief integration, even though it didn't take it for some reason on this one. I do like that, especially when I have a longer route. So we're almost at Redfa, where we're going to make a slight little right-hand turn. See a little bit of shipping out there in the North Sea. There's our turn as we head out towards Salute. There's the coast of the Netherlands coming into view. And we'll come down and enter 2000 in for our descent. Actually, let's go 7,000, because I know where I have to be at 7,000. And we'll adjust once we get a little bit further down. So a bit of a tailwind here, making good speed. We are a little bit low, so we're not getting full performance on the aircraft. We do our multiplayer on the Northern Europe server. So if you ever want to join us on a Wednesday or a Sunday flight, that's where we are, Northern Europe, on the multiplayer. Alright. Looks like we're getting close. Keeping an eye on everything. Alright, let's see how she handles the descent. We're going to be between 10 and 7,000 here at Sugal. Starting down at a gentle descent rate. Watching our path come down. See how she does. I'll actually set this right down to 2,000. We'll see if she can do it properly. Airport is up over around this gaggle of tags, so just keep an eye on that. You can see the banana marker there for our descent. want to see how their VNAV system in here works. It's not where we want to be 2,000, by the way. So hopefully it'll push out a bit. Once it's at NetTom at 7,000. Let's see how it does. And do we have a speed restriction? Yeah, 250 knots. So we're going to start bringing that speed down. There's 280. It says it wants us between 14 and 10. Plays out. There's 270. So bring it right down to 250. Save us porpoising down as we go, and then we can go all the way to flaps 5. Flaps 5. Flaps 5 are set. Looking good. We have a couple aircraft going in. 320, 737, and a C700. It's a Challenger private jet. So as long as we're above 10,000 feet at Sugal, we're now below the maximum. So we should be okay. There's that PA-24. Runway length, of course, is humongous. So for approach, we've obtained the ATIS. The FMC arrival procedures are entered in. Briefing is complete. Recall is checked. Altimeters. We're going to be descending straight down, so we'll switch over now to 1014. And set that in now. 1014 is set. VREF, let's pump down to our arrival here. And our approach, we're going to be doing a full flaps 30 landing, so that's going to be a 151. We'll get that in there. So our reference speed is 151 at 5, so a 156 for our approach. Minima is set 190 feet. No, not now. Little Simlink thing came up. Auto brakes are going to be set to 2. no passengers, and landing lights not required. Alright, so we're looking good. It wants us 7,000 at Netom. We'll see how it does. Oh, wind farm out there. And there is 10,000 feet. So landing lights will come on, turn off lights will come on. No, we don't need wing lights. We don't need logo light. We're good there. We might hit 7,000 at Netom, which would be nice to see. Just checking our altitudes. At 2,000 feet is just before when we level off, and then we should be intercepting. So we should be good. Hello, Liam. How are you today? We're looking good. There's our change. We're just above 7,000, so not too bad. 5,500 at near sea. We are. We're just coming into Amsterdam. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. I'll pump this out to 10 miles now. We do have to slow down to 220 knots once we come wings level. Looks like we got another aircraft inbound coming in the other way. Which direction he's going. He seems to have turned in front of me, so let's get down to 220. Molly is very good. She's sleeping in her crate right now. We went out for a little bit of a morning walk, and she's now resting while I do my work. So good. That seems to be going for that 5,500. Our descent rate has come right down to 600 feet per minute, allowing our speed to bleed. So as we do that, we can add some more flaps. So we're below 245, so we can go flaps 10. Well, I should be able to go to flaps 20. We're below 235. Well, we took off from Stansted, which is the Fly UK cargo hub in England. There we go. So coming back to 220, flaps 20. We're holding at 5,500 feet for near sea. That's nice to see. This seems to be working fairly well. Of course, our approach speed is going to be 156. And we're turning it to AM 607. Speed down to 200 knots. We'll go flaps 25, and then we'll hold that until we are on the approach. And we're below 210, so flaps 25. Alright, we should be starting down. 3,400 feet at AM 608. So that's this one here. Yeah, this is where we kind of lose it. So we're going to go into manual control. Be working down under that glide slope. There's the airport. Get that turn. There's the turn heading into runway 18. 18 right is where we're landing. Beautiful day here in the Netherlands. There's Amsterdam. And there's the airport. Let's get her straightened up here. There's 2,500 feet, 2,000 coming. We're starting to level off. We're into increased sensitivity range. So approach mode is armed localizer is capturing. We're looking good. And there we go. We are one dot above, so gear down. Bring the speed down to 185. Gear down 3 green. And we're on the glide slope. 156 is set. Speed's below 185. Flaps full. Flaps full. Gear down 3 green. Lights are all on. Recall clear. Runway identified. No traffic in sight. All right. Here we go. 1,500 feet. We do have a bit of a long taxi once we're down. That's fine. There's the harbor port area. We won't look too closely at that floating turbine. 1,000 to go. Control. Landing. Auto throttle's off.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Get the nose down. Reverser's up. Knots, 80 knots, 70 knots, reversers are all off, manual braking, and we'll get off here at Victor 2. Welcome to Amsterdam. For the long taxi. Alright, flaps are up, speed brakes are off. I'll leave the transponder going, that's fine. Landing lights are off, strobe lights are off. And taxi light is on. Turn off lights can come off as well. Alright. So we're going to head down here to Victor. And we're going to take Victor down across Whiskey 13 and 18 Center. Sagar saying hello, welcome to the stream. Look, we can watch from outside. A little bit of power. It is hot here. Alright, we're going to stay on Victor, primary Victor here, and go left again. So as we're taxiing in, if you want to join in on these streams, they are all community flights. We stream up to 6 times a week, 4 of which are on VATSIM, so you have to be on the VATSIM network to do that. And the others are on multiplayer, such as this one. You can come over to our Discord, links in the description, and you can come in there, join up. Information is posted about what we're flying, when and where, and also if you need help with the aircraft or with the sim itself, we can give you help with that. And you can get the information there. And while you're not doing all that, please consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and every time you click the subscribe button, a pilot gets their wings. You can hit the bell for notification when we stream, although it's pretty consistent. And of course, if you want to donate and help us out, you can either donate or join the channel. Did I see the Flight Simulator 20 trailer? No, I have not. Well, I've seen little bits of it, I think. Some about a helicopter with the trees and everything like that and stuff. Looks interesting. Definitely looking interesting there. Alright, we're going to cross over the little dike here. So, as said, we got a bit of a taxi here. I guess I should really go watch it in its entirety. So this runway is the one they added, which is why it's so far away from the airport. They've got bigger maps this time. How can they have bigger maps? They already have the whole world laid out. I mean, you can literally fly to anywhere in the world. What do you mean they have bigger maps? Alright, so we're going to cross here, Whiskey 13, we're going to cross 18 Charlie. There shouldn't be anyone using it. I don't see anyone coming in, so we're good to cross. And this is going to put us on Zulu, and we're going to follow Zulu down for a while. Here's the runway. Yeah, we're clear. Both directions. No, we're not taking Zulu. We're taking Delta, which is the first one here. More lovely signage in the middle of the taxiway. A little bit of speed, so we're not doing this all day long. So on the schedule upcoming on Tuesday, or Monday, tomorrow, we are continuing our ATR tour in Japan. We're flying out of Sendai, and we're heading down to Tokyo. That will be tomorrow night, 19:30 hours, we're on VATSIM. Tuesday, we continue with our Tour of Canada series. We'll be flying out of Yellowknife in the Airbus A320, the Retro Air Canada livery. And we'll be flying from Yellowknife down to Edmonton, Alberta, capital of Alberta. From there, Wednesday, we're back in the U.S. Capitals Tour. We're on multiplayer. That's where we're flying the DC-3. We'll be flying out of Indianapolis, Indiana to I don't know where. I don't remember where we're headed after this one. So it'll be a surprise for me as well. Thursday is my day off from streaming. Friday we're back in Satan. And Friday we are flying out of Denver. And we are flying down to Las Vegas, Nevada. Saturday we're back in our tour of the Atlantic as we circumnavigate the Atlantic. We started in the southern tip of South America. We flew all the way up to Greenland and Iceland, and now we're heading back south down the other side. We're currently in Tenerife, and we'll be flying out of Tenerife on Saturday. And then next Sunday we're back here in the 747 cargo as we fly the next leg in our support series to Formula One, which I believe we're flying from here down to Italy next weekend. So a lot of nice flights coming up over the week. And again, they're all multiplayer, or not multiplayer, community flights. So if you want to come along and join in, you're more than welcome. As you can see, we fly a variety of aircraft to different places around the world. Come over to the Discord, you can get information about when, where, what aircraft, and if it's VATSIM or multiplayer. If for multiplayer, it is the Northern European server. That is the one we tend to use for that. Alright, so just getting a look here at where we're headed. Going over the highway here. Again, huge way to taxi here. It's like this at Frankfurt as well. You get on the particular runway in Frankfurt, you're taxiing for a long time. and this is where we're heading, over onto this ramp over here. So just down here, we're going to make a right and come into the cargo ramp here at Amsterdam Airport. I think these are supposed to be raised up above these. Alright, we're almost there. Parking stands, we're looking at let's see if we can find it in the no. But this is the cargo area we're going into over here. Alright, we'll get back on board. And we're going to pick a spot. We're going to go down to R77. See if we can identify it. Should be the fourth one. Yeah, we'll go down to this end one here. Alright. We'll just make sure we get our nose lined up nicely. Push on the engines. Boy, this is a big airplane. There we go. Something like that. And here we are. And there's the brakes are on. Throttle power is available. We'll get that turned on. And we are good there. So the external power is in. The hydraulic demand pumps will come off. Parking brake is confirmed on. Fuel control switches are off. Come up to
this parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, this parking is too small for everywhere. We'll get the fuel pumps to come off. Well, it wants to leave those ones on, that's fine. Throttle power is on, window heat will come off, and the engine bleeds are now off as well. So we can turn the beacon light off, leave the wing lights on, and there we go. We are here in Amsterdam. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got all the information about what's upcoming and how to join us if you want to join us. Liam, thanks for coming along. Sugar Singh, thanks for coming along as well. And everybody else, Dark, if you're still lurking, thanks for pointing out the description didn't take. We'll see you tomorrow at 19:30 hours Zulu as we continue our ATR series in Japan. See you then. Bye for now.